Hello everybody, it's Claudia. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about LED light therapy. We'll talk about what LED light therapy is, what sort of benefits it has, and I'm also going to give you a full review on this LED face mask by ADURO. This is not a sponsored video. I've talked about this mask in a previous video, but back then I'd only had it for about 2 weeks, and though I did like it, I didn't know would I continue to like it, would I see any benefits. So today I will give you a full review, tell you how I like it, spoiler alert, I love it, and I will also tell you what sort of benefits I've seen, and like I said, we'll talk about the benefits of LED light therapy in general. Using natural light for therapeutic purposes is something humans have done for a long time. In fact, as early as 1903, a Scandinavian scientist won a Nobel Prize for his use of light therapy, back then known as phototherapy. Of course, research progressed and phototherapy was later known as LED light therapy. In the 1980s, NASA tested red light therapy for the growth of plants in space, and the plants grew beautifully in the absence of sunshine, and of course that encouraged researchers and doctors from many other fields to conduct their own experiments as well as studies. And since then we have over 1,000 studies on LED light therapy, and many of these studies look quite promising. They show that LED light therapy can help with anything from the management of chronic pain, hair loss, wrinkle reduction, joint rehabilitation, and even the improvement of cognitive function. So what is LED light therapy? LED stands for light emitting diode. So it is basically a vehicle, like a light bulb, that can carry different wavelengths of light, such as red or blue, and depending on the wavelengths of that light, it can penetrate through our skin into our tissue at different depths. The longer the wavelengths of that light, the deeper the penetration. Red light, for example, which is what NASA used, has a wavelength of around 650 nanometers. So it can actually penetrate through our epidermis into the dermis, and there, according to a study done by Harvard Medical, can actually restore cellular function. Infrared light, which is becoming more and more popular in the use of infrared saunas, for example, has a wavelength of around 750 to 1000 nanometers, so it can really penetrate deeply into our tissue. And another light that has been studied quite a bit lately is blue light. That has a wavelength of around 450 nanometers, so it doesn't penetrate quite as deeply as red light. However, it penetrates into our sebaceous glands, so it can be very beneficial for the control of acne, because in those sebaceous glands it can help with the control of oil production as well as eliminating acne bacteria. There are of course a bunch of other lights as well, such as orange, green, yellow, and we'll talk about the benefits of those lights in a second when I'll talk about the mask. But like I said, there have been so many studies done on LED light therapy, over 1,000, so way too many for me to look at. But I did look at a couple double-blind, placebo-controlled studies on red light therapy as well as infrared light therapy. And in one of them, they divided participants in 4 different groups. One of them received just red light therapy, the other one received infrared light therapy, the next one received a combination of red light and infrared light, and the last one received a placebo light. And after, I think it was 28 days, the participants in the red light group saw a marked improvement in their skin elasticity as well as their collagen production, and also the ones in the infrared light group. However, the best results were seen in the combination, in the infrared and the red light combined. The ones receiving the placebo light saw absolutely no results. Several other studies I looked at were just as promising as far as red light therapy, infrared light therapy, or best yet the combination of both, helping with collagen production. And I've talked about this in my collagen video, and if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. But when we think of collagen, oftentimes we just think of our skin, hair, nails. However, collagen is everywhere in our body. It is a fairly abundant protein that is in our bones, ligaments, tendons, cartilage. So having a modality that helps with collagen production is not just helpful for more skin elasticity or glowing skin, but as studies show, it can be helpful for joint rehabilitation, muscle recovery, the treatment of chronic pain, and the list goes on. So how does LED light therapy help with the production of collagen, and, as the study done by Harvard Medical suggests, restore cellular function? It's a bit of a complicated process, but simplified, 2 things happen. Once our skin absorbs the light, our mitochondria absorbs the light, nitric oxide increases. This increase of nitric oxide relaxes our blood vessels and encourages blood flow. With this increased blood flow, more oxygen can get to the cells, therefore more nutrients can get to the cells, and also waste product can be removed from the cells. Secondly, ATP increases, and ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is a coenzyme that is used to carry energy within our cells. Almost all cellular function in our body needs ATP to be carried out. And in our skin, ATP helps with the production of collagen and elastin. I have been a fan of LED light therapy for a long time. I've talked about in other videos how I broke my neck 10 years ago and that I had a double neck fusion. I'll put a little picture right here so you know what it looks like. But when I knew that I had to have the surgery, I was looking for ways to recover faster, and that's how I came across LED light therapy. So back then, I bought this clumsy panel right here, and after my surgery I was bedridden for 6 weeks. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I would put the panel right here on my neck because this is where my incision was, and I would just rest. I had my first checkup after 3 weeks, and my doctor could not believe how quickly my neck had fused. He gave me a window of about 8 weeks for it to be completely fused, and after 3 weeks it was almost completely fused. Now, was it the LED light? We obviously have no way of knowing, but I really truly believe, especially after all the research I've done on LED light, that it helped me heal. Another thing I did, because I had all the time in the world, I would take my panel and put it on my face while bedridden, and every time somebody came to visit me, they would comment on how glowing and how healthy my skin looked, even though I just had surgery. So that made me look into LED light therapy even further. And so back then I had done a lot of damage to my skin from just years or decades of unprotected sun exposure, and then also trying to get this over here, I was anorexic, so I didn't eat enough to feed my body, let alone my skin. So I really wanted something to repair that damage. So back then, because this panel was just not very practical to put on my face, I would have to lay down. Also, it doesn't have any glass on it. So even though, I'll show you one more time, what I liked about this panel is that it had a lot of lights, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. And it also had infrared as well as red, so the combination that we know is best. But it just wasn't practical to use on my face. You have to sit in front of it. Who has the time for that? And when I put it on my face, I had all kinds of indentations from the light bulbs, and they lasted forever. So I bought this little handheld device, and back then this was all the rage, and I would just sit there while watching TV or something and try to cover all my areas. Now this is a great device. Again, this has red as well as infrared, but it just took forever to use. So since I have done so much damage to my skin, and I'm really trying to repair some of it and trying to be kind to myself, what I wanted was a device that is something that covers my whole face without leaving any indentations, and that I can also multitask with, that I wouldn't just have to sit there like this for hours. Now, lots and lots of face masks have come out over the last few years, and I looked at them literally for weeks. But what I didn't like is that most of them were hard shell that just did not look practical. It didn't look like I could actually multitask with. They also looked really uncomfortable. Also, a lot of the masks I saw didn't have a lot of lights. They had maybe 40, 50 lights, and in my opinion, that's just like giving myself a Q-tip treatment. Then I might as well stick with this little thing and just move it all over my face. And also, some of them didn't even tell me what sort of wavelengths the light has, and that is important. It has to have the right wavelengths, otherwise we're just wasting our money and our time. So I really looked for weeks and weeks to find a mask. What I wanted was one that was light enough so I could actually multitask with it, that had enough lights to not just give myself a Q-tip treatment. And also, of course, I wanted red light as well as infrared, because we know that the combination of the two is best. So finally, after weeks of searching, I came across the ADURO face mask. Now, I already had it in my basket. I was so excited to buy it. I was just about to give him my credit card information, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to email them and say, hey, I was so impressed by your mask, which I really was. Like I said, I searched for weeks, and when I found that mask, I was so excited because it really had everything I was looking for. And I said, I'm so impressed by your mask. Would you maybe, just maybe, want to send me one for an honest review? And I thought I would never hear from them because I'm a tiny YouTuber. What do they have to gain from me giving a review? However, they wrote me right back, and they were so kind. I talked to a man named Bird, and the company is in Europe. Here they are in Denmark, I'm in Italy. So we talked about what it's like to live in Europe. We had some really nice email exchanges. They were so kind. They said, of course we'll send you a mask. What is your address? Oh, and by the way, we'll also send you another product which is not even on our website. Let us know how you like it. So I couldn't believe that they were so kind and that they really wanted to work with me. So I was waiting for my mask to come. It took a little while because of COVID. When it came, I was so excited. I actually jumped up and down. It came in a nice box. It came, I'll show you the mask in a second, but it came with goggles. And also because Bird, who I talked to, knew that I am American living in Europe, but at some point probably going back to the US. He also included a US plug, which I thought was really thoughtful because I did not ask him for that. So the mask came, it came like I said with the goggles, the US plug, it also came with a towel, and the other product that it came with was a collagen supplement. Now, I am vegan, so I don't take collagen supplements. This one is a fish collagen. And also, if you've seen my video on collagen supplements, you know how I feel about them. However, if you are somebody who takes collagen supplements, I would be more than happy to send this to you because I'm sure it's a great product. It's just not for me, and I don't want it to go to waste or throw it away. So please, if any of you want it, let me know in the comments, and I am happy to send it to you. And if more than one of you wants it, then I'll just randomly pick. But let's get to the mask. So like I said, it came with the goggles, the plug, a towel, and the collagen supplement. The first thing when I took the mask out, I have to say I was really impressed of how well it was made. It has no apparent seams or anything. Now I was saying when I put the panel on my face, I had indentations for hours. So there are no seams or anything that sticks out that would leave indentations. And I have used this for an hour at a time and I don't have any indentations or any, like I said, there are no seams or anything that could poke your face or leave any sort of marks. So I was really impressed by that. Also, it is super light. It hardly weighs anything. It is very flexible. It comes with a strap that you then velcro behind your head. And so you can walk around. I literally walk around with this. I edit with it. I do the dishes with it. My husband is not too keen on me wearing this because it looks a bit scary. However, he has seen quite a few benefits, and I'll talk about that in a second. So it is super light, really well made. I was really impressed that, like I said, there is nothing that sticks out, that leaves any indentations. And I have super sensitive skin. If I wear a baseball hat or something, I have the dent here for hours. I can wear this for an hour at a time without anything. So super light, super flexible, comes with the straps. The straps come off so you can wash them, which I think is a nice feature because I have gotten sunscreen and stuff on there. Now, of course, when I wear this, I don't put anything on, but I have shown this in videos with sunscreen on. That's one reason I'm not putting it on right now. But the straps come off and they're washable. It comes with a remote control. This is rechargeable and the charge lasts for a long time. I charge this maybe once a week or so, and one cycle is 20 minutes. However, like I said, I use it sometimes for an hour, so sometimes I go through 2 or 3 cycles and still the charge lasts a long time. It has 11 different programs on here. The mask itself has 7 different lights. Now, this is the one that has 7 different lights. They have one that is just red light. They also have one that is just blue light. So if collagen production is your only concern, you could just go with the red one. I think that one is about $100 cheaper. This one is around, I want to say $340. I think it's on sale right now. Of course, I will link everything down below. But the one that just has red lights is about $100 cheaper. There's also one that only has blue lights. So if acne is your concern, you could go with that one, and that is also $100 cheaper. But this one has 7 different lights, and we'll talk about them in a second. I'll show you. But it has 11 programs because some of the programs combine some of the lights. So they have like a daily fix that goes through several different lights. They also have a quick fix that has a combination of other lights. So let's turn on the lights and see. So of course there's red light, which they call wrinkle reducer. And this has a wavelength of 620 to 630 nanometers. Then there is blue. This has a wavelength of 465 to 470 nanometers. So again, it has the ability to penetrate into our sebaceous glands and help eliminate acne bacteria. Next, there is green. And the green has a wavelength of around 515 to 520 nanometers. And that actually can penetrate our melanocytes, which is where we produce melanin. So it can help with hyperpigmentation. Then there is yellow. The yellow has a wavelength of around 565 to 590 nanometers, and it can help reduce inflammation and can also help with rosacea. Then there is orange. This one has a wavelength of 600 nanometers, and it can help, as the company says, promote a glow and also revitalize your skin. Then there is another blue which they call cyan. This has a little longer wavelengths than the one used for acne. It's around 500 to 520 nanometers, and it can help with irritated skin as well as swollen capillaries. Then there is purple, which unfortunately I could not find the wavelengths for this one. I will ask the company again, but I couldn't find it. But the company says this is for cell rejuvenation. And then this one they call Skin Booster, and this is a combination of red light as well as infrared light. And then there are just a few programs, like I said, that cycle through several lights at the same time. Now, if you look at this mask, it has quite a few lights. It actually has 198 LEDs, so quite impressive. No Q-tip treatment here. It also has 20 infrared lights. So let me turn it off. So altogether it has 218 LEDs. So that is quite impressive, and that's what I wanted. I wanted one that gave me enough lights. Like my panel, it had plenty of lights. It just wasn't practical, and by now it's actually broken. So I wanted one that has plenty of lights, that cover my whole face, that don't just give me a Q-tip treatment. And like I said, it has everything I wanted. Now, honestly, when they sent it to me, I thought they were just going to send me the red one, and I would have been completely happy with that one. I didn't know they were going to send me the combination. I'm happy they did, and I have played around with all the other lights. What I use the most is the red and infrared combined, but I have played around with all the other ones. And so far, of course, no ill effects or no adverse effects. Now, what sort of results have I seen? Well, first of all, I absolutely love wearing this mask. I love the ease of use. Like I said, it is so light, it is so flexible that I literally walk around with it. I mean, I don't forget that I have it on, obviously. I can notice that I have it on, but it is not bothersome at all. So I walk around with it most of the time when my husband isn't here because, like I said, he's not too keen on me wearing it. But I absolutely love that. What I have noticed is that it is, first of all, super relaxing. I have fallen asleep with this mask on more times than I can count. So super relaxing no matter what light I put it on. Now, that's not necessarily a result, but with everything going on in the world right now, something that makes me relax or helps me relax, I'm all for it. So super relaxing. Secondly, every time I wear it, right afterwards and for hours after, I have a beautiful glow to my skin. My skin looks really, really healthy. So much so that my husband, who doesn't like me wearing this, has actually noticed. And every time I wear it, when he's around afterwards, he says to me, "Baby, your skin looks so glowing and so healthy." So it gives me a really, really nice glow. Thirdly, what I'm most impressed by is I wore this mask last week after my microneedling. If you don't know what microneedling is, I made a video on it. I will link it down below. But in a nutshell, microneedling, you take tiny little microneedles and you on purpose create some injury to your skin, and then the skin has to respond, the body has to respond by creating growth factors, fibroblasts, collagen, and elastin, and it helps the health of your skin. It's something I've done for 10 years, and I go quite deep. I go about 1 millimeter, sometimes a little deeper. So there is some downtime. It's like a hot workout and you sore the next day, or maybe for 2 or 3 days. So there is some downtime. I have redness right after. There's a lot of redness. I look like a lobster. That is completely normal because the blood rushes to the skin. And again, I cause some inflammation on purpose. And then the day after, usually 2, sometimes 3 days, depending on how crazy I went, I'm quite red, or there is definitely redness that is apparent. At the second or third day, I can usually cover it up with some tinted sunscreen. The first day, I really don't want to go anywhere. So anyways, this time, right after microneedling, I put my mask on. Half an hour, I put it on the red as well as the yellow, which is supposed to help with inflammation. When I took the mask off, I was amazed of how much redness it had taken down. Now, there is a bit of debate whether you want to use LED light after microneedling. I'm not going to go much into it, but because we are creating inflammation on purpose, some people say you don't want to use anything anti-inflammatory afterwards. However, I am confident enough that I create enough inflammation that using LED after is just going to help me heal quicker, help with that collagen production. I don't think that I am going to negate everything I've done with the microneedling. So when I took that mask off, I was amazed how much redness it had taken down. I wore it again the next day, and by the way, I made sure, because my face has tiny little channels from the microneedling, I made sure that I cleaned this really well with alcohol, and that's another thing I like about this mask. You can clean it with alcohol, with soap, it is waterproof, it is completely washable. I mean, don't throw it in the washing machine, but you can wash it off. So I cleaned it with alcohol, I put it on, I was amazed at the results. I wore it again the next day, and actually again, my husband noticed. He said to me, "Did you microneedle yesterday?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Wow, you're not even red." Now he's used to me doing this for 10 years now, and he's used to me looking a bit crazy for about 2 or 3 days after. So even he was amazed, and even he now is a bit of a convert when it comes to LED light therapy. So that is what I was most impressed by, how much inflammation, how much redness it took down. So if you're somebody with rosacea or any sort of inflammatory disease, acne is an inflammatory disease, then LED light, and of course I'm reviewing this mask right now, so this mask can be absolutely beneficial. I used to have rosacea, I have it pretty much under control, but I wish back then when I had bad rosacea that these sort of things would have been around. It would have been a life changer. And also, if you think about it, inflammation causes aging, and we're constantly bombarded by oxidative stress, and oxidative stress causes inflammation, which then causes aging. So if all this mask did was reduce inflammation, then it already would be a game changer. But like I said, what I've noticed so far, aside from that, which I was really impressed by, is the instant glow that it gives me, and that it is super relaxing. Now, as far as collagen production, that is a very hard one for me to look in the mirror and say, yes, I have more collagen production, right? That's one I would have to go to the lab for. They would have to measure the thickness of my skin and really look at, is there improved collagen production? That's not something I can see when I look in the mirror. We all have those days where we look in the mirror and we're like, oh, today is really good. And then the next day, we see all of our flaws. So that's a really hard one to see or to know. And that might also be something that happens down the road. Now, don't expect, if you have really deep wrinkles or if you're really, really, really unhappy with your skin, that this is going to change your life. I think that LED light therapy is incredible and it has many, many benefits. One of them being helping with collagen production. But it's not going to be like surgery or something. So know that any sort of LED device you get, whether it is $200 or $2,000, it's going to make a difference. But it's not going to be so drastic that from one day to the next you can see a difference. So this is a long-winded way of saying it is hard for me to know if there is more collagen production. But even if there wasn't, I would still be sold on this mask because, like I said, I am so impressed how it took down the inflammation and just the nice glow it gives me. And if this were to break, I would buy it again in a heartbeat with my own money. And if ADURO wouldn't have sent that to me, I would have bought it anyways. It was already in my basket. I'm just really grateful that they sent it to me and gave me the opportunity to test it and to review it. And by the way, if I would not like this, I would honestly tell you I am not somebody who fakes it well at all. So I absolutely love this mask. Now, to be honest, I don't have another face mask, LED face mask, to compare this to. So if you have one, let us know in the comments how you like it, have you seen any results? But in lieu of having any other face mask, I have my tools, but they really don't compare to this. But in lieu of having any other face mask to compare this to, this is the best LED face mask I have ever used. And like I said, I really, really love it. ADURO gave me a discount code for you to use if you want to. No pressure, of course. I don't make any money on it. It is not an affiliate link. It's just there for you to use if you want to. It gives you 10% off. The code is Claudia10. I will put it in the description box. And again, this is not a sponsored video. It's not an affiliate link. And all the money goes to the company. And I'm completely glad about that because they were really great to work with. I'm really impressed by the customer service and I'm really impressed by the product. So if you are in the market for an LED mask, there is a coupon code for you to use if you want to. Oh, another thing I forgot to say, and I'm thinking of that right now because it is so hot where we live and you can probably see me just melting in front of the camera. But this mask does not overheat. In fact, it doesn't even get warm, which I don't know how they do that. Now, of course, it is about 90 degrees where we are right now, 90% humidity. So when I have this on my face, I'm going to get a little bit warm. Anything I would put on my face, I would get a little bit warm. But the mask itself does not get warm. And I actually don't know how they do that because my other two tools, after using them for about 20 minutes, they don't get hot, but they definitely get warm. This does not overheat at all. Even when I've used it for an hour, the mask itself does not get warm at all. And I really appreciate that, especially how hot it is here right now. So that's the thing I forgot to say. So anyways, I think that's all I have to say on the mask and on LED light therapy. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I always love to hear from you. And also, when you give me a thumbs up or when you comment, it helps my channel grow. And of course, I would love my channel to grow so I can continue to bring you videos. So also let me know if you want that collagen supplement. Again, I'm happy to send it to you. And that's it. Until next time, bye.